Get ready. It's time. Christina, Catherine, Lisa, Amy, and Lauren. Welcome to the Cimarelli Podcast.
Hey, I'm Christina.
I'm Catherine.
I'm Amy.
I'm Lauren.
And we're Cimarelli.
And I'm Tristan, she says.
Oh, she's little.
Tristan's kind of, well, we'll see what happens. She's joining us for now in the podcast. Welcome back to
The Cimarelli Podcast.
We're missing Lisa, but Tristan is replacing.
For flavor.
Tristan has replaced her, but you'll find she's a woman of not
Lisa
many
shrunk.
words. So she won't be really adding much, but
Yeah.
she'll be adding the pizzazz.
She'll be adding spirit.
the flair.
For
So,
sure.
guys, today's going to be, unlike, okay, our last episode was pretty intense.
It was.
And this one is more
Fun
and fresh.
fun and fresh.
Wild.
Welcome to a fun and fresh episode.
Woo!
Oh, wait, did you want to?
Oh, yes. Okay, guys. Today, this is episode 131, which is fully on Patreon and partially on our YouTube. So if you're on our YouTube, you'll be here for part of this fun experience. But if you want to see the whole fun experience, really live, laugh, love to the fullest, then you got to join our Patreon, which is $5 a month. So if that sounds good to you, because who doesn't want to live, laugh, love, join our Patreon, see the full episode and these wild Reddit stories, ladies and gentlemen, because last time they were intense.
It's so
Wait,
funny.
you guys are all wearing green?
Yeah, apparently.
What the heck? When does that happen? Never. I didn't get the memo.
Yikes,
I feel
Kat.
so left out.
Looks like you got to sync up.
Apparently.
Okay, let's jump into our his and laws. What's the high point and the low point of your week?
Okay, we'll start with something that I can think of. My high is that I feel as though my soul has re-entered my body. You know what I mean?
That's good.
Because I think it took a little vacay, little trip for a while because I was so busy and out of sorts for most of the summer. So, like, I was just like, I didn't really have a soul for a minute. Because it just felt like I was so survival moding, as we will call it. So now I feel like lately my soul has re-entered my body. I've started like working on fun projects again. I started painting again and writing again. So it feels very, very well. I'm very happy about it.
Love it.
And let me think. My low is that last week I probably had some sort of mental breakdown about being sick. That'll be my low.
Oh my gosh. You have
As
been,
usual.
what was that? Yesterday.
Yeah.
You were literally trying to film a video. She's just staring off into the distance.
No,
Like,
I
are you
was glitching
okay?
for a multitude of reasons.
What if I get sick?
No, it wasn't about that. Holy.
Okay.
My high and low
Ooh, let's
was
hear it.
that I did a cleanse
Oof.
this past week.
Not the cleanse.
Where I did no social media, no TV, YouTube,
Wait.
podcasts, anything.
Can I say she was telling me about this cleanse? We were driving home the other day, and she's like, "And I can't buy any extra cheese."
Why? You
said
can't
me.
buy cheese. I couldn't. No, I didn't. I wasn't in my cleanse. I couldn't have new cheese.
She had
Okay,
to stick with the
I had
cheese that
cheese
she
in my
had.
fridge that I needed to eat. But I was okay. The goal of the cleanse was to build discipline and to abstain from luxury items.
Like cheese.
And like cheese.
Cheese is a luxury
new
item.
cheese,
It sent
okay?
me
Oh my gosh.
into space.
I love
it was
cheese
the
so much.
Wait, what new cheese did you want to get?
Any cheese.
Anything. Like if I was gonna make food, I couldn't or if I was gonna order food, I couldn't get anything with cheese, or I couldn't go get a nice wheel of brie.
Yeah.
Have it with crackers. Couldn't do it.
'Cause you
All I
already had
had
it.
was my pepper jack and
Oh,
my
I hate
morning
pepper
bagel.
jack.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, so yeah, the point of the cleanse was discipline, like get my willpower back a little bit, just in general, so I could like do things with my life more instead of just laying around like a leaf on the ground. And then also to like reconnect with myself
Love
and my
to see it.
feelings. 'Cause I felt like I just kept ignoring myself and it was making me mentally ill.
Oh.
So
Classic.
my high was that I started exercising in the cleanse more and
to
it
see
was
it.
really great and made me feel better. But my low was just that I did a cleanse because it was so boring and horrible.
It
and
does sound
annoying.
a little boring.
And this is the thing for me. What I repress is anger and rage, right? So when I suddenly am not repressing, I'm just mad all day. And then I'm also mad because I can't watch TV. I
can't eat cheese.
I can't go on social media. What am I supposed to do? Rage, rage, rage. And so
Rage.
it was just really annoying. But I did express that rage
Oh, that's good.
and realized there was
my
some
gosh.
problems that I needed to deal with in my life.
Good for you.
It was good, but it was so annoying. I was so mad. Oh my gosh. So that was my low.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say this cleanse is interesting. I want to hear more about it. The takeaways. But
Has anyone else like
that's a good takeaway.
me in the fact where when anyone says they're going on a cleanse, you're like, wait, am I supposed to do that too?
No.
Every time Lauren's like cleansing, and I'm like, I don't have to cleanse.
no.
I don't have to cleanse. It's okay.
I feel like I did a lot of cleansing. I need a break.
Yeah.
But if you're in a place where you need it, it's really good.
Well,
it feels
yeah.
good.
I feel like in motherhood, you're not really like, I need to discipline
Sacrifice more.
myself to do things
my
I
gosh.
don't want to do.
I saw this-
It's like, I
yes.
think you're already doing
I saw
that.
this Instagram reel tonight. I don't know if I sent it to you. Oh, I didn't because I think it had like a bad word. But it was like a very explicit song, but it was a good meaning. It was like how people wake up when they don't have kids, and it was like, it was like, get my coffee, go for a walk, and it was like journal, and then it was like how we wake up when they have kids, and they were like, and they like jumped out of bed, and their bed was like full of blocks. They were like, and I was like, yeah, because you usually wake up to the sound of someone crying or screaming. It's like very
Yeah.
startling.
I feel like
So,
that
yeah.
would throw off your nervous
Your life
system
just
a lot.
is a cleanse, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that leads really well into my low. Was Saturday. Oh man, that was just a day. Max described the day as a heaping pile of dung.
Oh
my! He's
I
like,
can't picture him saying
why is
that.
the stage just a
can.
heaping pile of dung? Because everything just kept going wrong. We were late to everything we went to. I can't remember the boys. Oh, the boys were so fussy about everything. They didn't want to go in the high chair. They didn't want to go in the stroller. They didn't want to go in the car seat. Everything
typical
was just
man.
like they were so annoyed. Everything was a fight. We were just like at the end of the day, we were just like, we were so tired. But that also, and I was like, why did I plan something tonight? I planned a fall gathering with some friends.
Oh,
and
that was your aforementioned low from the other.
Yes. And I was like, this is horrible timing. But I will say, the good things from the fall gathering, I decorated my house, which I literally
Cute.
bought 3 pumpkins from Target.
Cute though.
And
It's
I
good.
put up a wreath and a scarecrow and
Love
a
to
little
see it.
like fall broom outside. You know, you ever see a
Love
fall
to
broom?
see it.
Anyway,
yeah. Yeah.
Gotta have a fall broom.
I don't love witches, but I like brooms. I think
Yeah.
they just have like a fall vibe.
I agree. Like the cinnamon brooms are
Yeah.
really fun.
So-
It's not for a witch. It's to sweep the
It's
leaves.
just sweep the leaves. Yeah.
it's to sweep the nation off its feet.
Yeah, that's that too. That's exactly why I bought it.
Sweep the children
nation.
off their feet.
Yeah, so I
Their
decorated
high
for
chairs.
fall. I made pumpkin bread and I made apple cider, and I filled some jars with candy corn. And it was just
I love to
fall
see
was
it.
living in my home. And to this day, well, I mean, I have the apple cider in my fridge, and I still have all the decorations.
I love
this
it. To this day, guys.
It was like 5 days ago. But
I
still.
have apple cider too. It's so good.
I feel like I
Oh
should
my
get apple
gosh, it's
cider.
so good.
Just like cold apple cider.
Yeah.
It's so
But
good.
I
why I
made it.
don't
Okay, but
like
I
it.
made it like
Do you like
Mom
apple
did.
juice?
Remember?
Oh yeah, in the crock
Yeah,
pot
I
with
put it in the crock
cinnamon.
pot
No.
with cinnamon sticks, cloves, and orange slices.
That's
it's
good for
good.
like
Good.
one night.
Yeah, it
but
was for
daily
like a fun
use.
thing.
Yeah, it's gotta be like
but then
a
it was like I
moment
left
in
the stuff
time.
in and it was way too spicy. I was like, I was like, Max, you want to try it? And he was like, whoa. He likes spicy stuff, but he was like, this is too much. So yeah. Did
So
you
what's
know
up
both
with
of
you,
No.
Christina?
Okay.
Is that both of you?
Okay, let's see. High is that I keep having good moments where I'm like nailing the 2 schedule, 2 children situation because it's a
Love
lot of planning, a lot of
That is a
strategizing.
situation.
So I'm like, okay, who's napping when? How am I getting Barrett with 0 hands? That's the hard part. What am I doing here? How do I plan this? Blah, 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 whatever. And I've had a lot of really good moments, a lot of really good mornings. Shockingly. Are you ready? She's grabbing
She's
the
grabbing
mic.
the mic. She's like, let me talk, Mom.
Yeah, I've had a lot of really good mornings this week where I didn't have the one you just said.
Heaping pile of dung. Yeah.
I know it well. I've had a lot of good mornings of not having that, which was good.
Love
Not
to
the
see
real
it.
you said. Where I am getting coffee. I mean, it's like 10 minutes, but
You drink coffee.
decaf.
Oh, okay.
I literally pour this much.
It's
of
like
the
a
cup.
placebo.
Yeah.
It's just the
it's
taste.
a ritual.
And
It's
then
the
Barrett's
ritual.
like, I want
I
coffee.
love the morning.
It's just the
Barrett
taste.
coffee.
Yeah. So good mornings, which is amazing. Yeah, Barrett asks me for coffee every day, and I put sometimes I give him chocolate milk and it's coffee. Or I just do milk and I'm like, here's your coffee. It's every day.
cute.
Barrett, coffee. I'm like, okay, here's your coffee. What's my low? I feel like I actually don't have a low.
Wow. We love to see it
Christina,
postpartum.
you deserve it.
You deserve
Thank
it.
You had
you.
way too
I had
many
many a
lows.
low
You
last
deserve it.
postpartum.
in 2020. I had many a low. first time, postpartum depression, birth trauma. It's just a lot. It's just a bundle.
Yeah.
My child just went.
Who was it?
Could you tell?
I think
Leo?
no, that's Dom. I think
Dom?
that's Dom. Yeah.
No idea.
Leo doesn't really do that. Leo actually goes. I can't even do it as high. It literally sounds like a tea kettle.
Oh,
really high pitched
yeah.
scream. Dom's is a little lower. No. I think he's excited about something. He does that when he's
Cute.
excited.
Okay, well, there's your insight into our weeks. Let's do our perspectives on a question. We each can give our 5 pops, but now it's our 4 pops right now. Lisa will be back. As soon as she's able to, she'll be back. When do you put up your Christmas tree?
Oh, I usually get mine. It's a dance because
It's a
if you
dance.
I like a real tree and
never
which
mind.
I hate the mess, but the real tree, if you get it too early, it gets really crisp and like crunchy
Gross.
and just dead. I mean, it
Wait,
already
Lisa
does.
drinks the
smelling
water.
weird.
Yeah, it's not weird. Oh yeah, wait, Lisa drank the water when she was
As
little.
a child.
Yes,
She
as
was
a
a
child,
kid,
Lisa drank
guys.
Christmas tree water. What a wild time.
Yeah, Lauren
so
climbed our karate bell.
early December. I would
chump
say like maybe a week or 2 after Thanksgiving. Max, it was so funny. Last year, Max and I literally had 2.5-month-old babies, and we were like kind of in survival mode. So we just went over to Lowe's, which was like 10 minutes away. We were like, let's get a tree. We just grabbed something. We like, oh, we got a tree.
Cute.
It took us so long to put it up and so long to decorate it because we had the babies.
I can
Like
see that.
weeks. We probably got it up like a week before Christmas. It was just sitting in our house or like decorated. But yeah, this year's gonna be better. I mean, we'll have toddlers
wait.
trying to knock the tree over.
When do you put it up?
Like a week after Thanksgiving.
Okay. I realized my answer. I put it up
Also, we have a fake tree. By we, I mean
after.
you.
Yeah, I have a
They have a
fake
very
tree
iconic tree.
that lives a long life.
It's a very long and illustrious
Which
life.
kind of adds to this question, though, the reason why it's long life. When I put it up after Thanksgiving, whatever weekend I actually will do it,
Yeah.
then that's when I put it
Last
up.
year, your boyfriend was in town for Thanksgiving, so we put it up the day after Thanksgiving. That was so
That's
fun.
great.
That's
That
so
was
cute.
great
You're
night.
chill.
So it's
Yeah,
like, I'll take it down when I actually do it.
When I get around to it, which
When
was,
I get
did
to
it
it.
because you wanted to be down before something happened. I don't know. what.
Easter.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Like,
what.
this is too far.
That's the thing. But yeah.
I probably will try to put it up soon after Thanksgiving.
Because it's a fake tree and it's a big
Yeah.
fake tree. So
But it's hard to get it
wrangle.
out of that closet. Like,
Yeah, it is.
It's so heavy.
It's a process to get it up.
It is.
Wow. What did? Oh, because you have
We
the same
have-
tree.
we-
Okay.
yeah.
You don't
So
even
you're,
have
like,
a tree.
at
You
the
have no
mercy.
answer.
I have no answer. I am her henchman.
Would you want to put up a tree?
Yes,
Yeah, when
I
would
would put
you?
it up like right after Thanksgiving. If
yeah.
I had a
Wait,
fake
but
tree,
you
like
do
the
it
day
really
Be
after.
up at the crack of the dawn. Bam, bam,
Wait,
bam.
are you guys team real
For
or
sure.
fake? Lauren,
Fake.
team fake or
Fake?
Okay.
Fake.
I have a fake, but,
But-
I'm more team real.
Okay.
Team real.
Fake right now for aesthetic purposes, but I feel like if you have like a family, it's fun to
The
get a real
tradition.
one
Yeah.
and do all
You know,
that.
I feel like a fake bigger tree and then a real smaller tree.
I'm thinking of doing that this
Okay.
year. Get a small, real
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
it's
it just stinks
fun.
because like cleaning up the needles is such
It's so annoying.
we had to sweep them so many times because they kept falling. I was like, it's kind of annoying, but the smell is nice. You walk into your door and you smell the pine.
Yeah, I want that.
yeah, that's
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, so mine is everyone has like an idea of like when Christmas begins, right?
Oh yeah.
So mine is the day after
when Christmas comes to
Thanksgiving.
town.
Me too.
when it begins.
love
That is my official start.
Yeah.
I like to wait
It's
until
like 8 p.m. Thanksgiving night.
When
It's
we
Christmas.
put on what is
Yes,
that? The little
Santa
drummer
Tell
after
boy.
we finish dinner.
And we do little drummer boy and Santa Tell Me.
Max would be so annoyed if we listened to Christmas music or did anything before Thanksgiving. He'd be like, no. So I'm like, I've secretly listened to it in my car if I want to. No, he would be like, oh,
You know,
it's not Christmas.
I listen to Santa Tell Me
Year round.
on my run sometimes.
It's so good.
No,
it
no,
just
no.
hits. I'm like,
It feels,
Santa
it
Tell
feels
Me.
wrong to me though.
No,
I'm
Santa
like,
Tell
oh,
Me
I
is year round, and so is All I Want for Christmas You by Vince Vance
I
and the
can't get
Valiants.
into it.
Those are year
can't.
round
No,
songs.
I can't do that. It's got to be at least winter time.
No.
Like November, I might start. getting in the
July,
mood.
you hear I'm Santa Tell Me all the way.
Okay, well, this is a good segue. Speaking of meals,
Ooh.
as we just talked about Thanksgiving meal,
Love a meal.
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
No, I know what you're saying.
Oh, speaking of meals, I would like to bring up our sponsor, who we love,
We
love
stand.
Stand.
Green Chef.
Ooh, Green Chef.
I made a meal I'll never forget.
Never.
I talked about it the last time we talked about this though, but
Same.
I will
Was
literally
it the sage,
never.
rosemary,
The truffle one?
truffle. Oh,
Guys, I dream about this meal.
Oh my god.
Okay, before
good.
if you guys don't know what it is, then we just need to get into it so you're not like,
gotta.
why are they raving about something I don't know what they're talking about?
Here's what we're talking
You
about.
probably do though. Green Chef is a CCOF certified meal kit company. They make eating well easy with plans to fit every lifestyle.
do.
So you go and you like choose like which lifestyle you are, like keto, gluten-free, balanced, whatever you want to do, select it. And then they send, it's an organic one, by the way, it's organic. They send the box
Don't panic.
to your door.
Their
and
ingredients
it's got-
are so good.
It's got the whole, all the ingredients for your meal, like already in one bag. So it takes all the things that are really stressful to me, especially like as a mom, but it's like literally anyone. It's tiring to choose meals, to shop make your grocery list, shop,
It is.
to measure. I hate the measuring part.
my
Just hate it.
gosh.
Measure everything.
I hate
You're
measuring.
like, it's the end of the day and you're like tired and you're like, this makes it so like you don't have to.
You don't have to do all that thinking.
You're just like, boom, here's the bag, chop, 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 cook, follow the instructions are right there in front of you. It's not like, where'd my recipe go? Me when I'm trying to cook. It's just right there. It's great. You can play the Simmerly podcast the whole time. You don't have to keep
can.
checking your phone for what the ingredients are. That annoys me when
I
I'm trying.
love to see
When
it.
I'm cooking, I'm trying to listen to something or watch something, and then I have to like keep going
I
back
hate that.
to Pinterest.
Yeah, and I will say Green Chef really has broadened my horizons of cooking. Like their meals are so easy and good and delish, but easy and stress free. And me saying stress free is a wild
deal.
thing to say. They've made me actually want to cook and start cooking. So thank you, Green Chef, for that. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, it's wildly, I would say,
Iconic.
convenient is the number one word. Delicious, iconic. But I'm telling you guys, it's like
Delightful.
it was like a restaurant meal. Like I
Literally.
I can't
So
get over
good.
it.
Guys, like we're very passionate
Yeah,
about
it's
food.
amazing for like stress relief in your week,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and also trying new foods. It's just awesome.
We love to see it.
Anyone else have anything to add? You want to say?
I think my box should be here really soon, and I'm
Me
excited.
too.
I'm dying
Because I want to
dying.
do an at-home date night with Max, and it's
Oh,
always fun to like
that's
make
a
a meal.
fun idea.
You know?
And you always know they're gonna hit so well.
Oh yeah,
You can trust.
they're so
trust,
good.
trust. Unlike lying men.
I have loved every single meal, and I've tried many of their meals. They're always really
Love
good.
to see it.
So if you guys want to give it a try and you want a deal, we got a deal for you.
love a
Go
deal.
to greenchef.com/Cimarelli135 and use code Cimarelli135 to get $135 off across 5 boxes, and your first box ships free.
We stand.
So Cimarelli135. We're going to have it all linked in the description. Use our code Cimarelli135, CIMORELLI, duh, and check it out. See if it makes your life a million times better.
It will.
Probably will. And let us know. Let us know in the comments if you've been trying some of the meals and what your fave was. I want to hear about it, guys. Because we
Literally.
probably tried some of the same meals, which would be
Oh
fun.
my god.
If you have
If
that
you know
one,
about the pork one,
you know.
Oh, the pork.
if you know.
Your life will be changed.
Loved it.
Okay, so now I did not do this last time. You guys
was
did this,
so
I'm really
fun.
excited because I haven't done it.
So
which
you will
is
die.
reacting to
Yes.
Yeah.
crazy. Is it reacting to crazy Reddit stories? So
Yes.
Basically, yeah. That's
Okay.
what the last one
I'm
was.
curious.
excited.
I'm
All right.
You're gonna die.
So Lauren's
Kristen.
gonna read a Reddit story, and we're gonna give our pops. If you know
Yeah.
what Reddit is, it's like a website where people like
It's like a forum.
kind
Yeah.
of come alive.
And this is a subreddit where people basically say something that happened. I don't know what you said.
I was gonna finish it, and then you started talking, so I was like, it just sounded, I was gonna say
Where people come
Reddit is a
alive.
place where people come alive and like tell their darkest, like their deepest secrets.
Oh,
and,
where they're
like,
like inner.
and they like scathe people
I'm
alive.
so scared of Reddit.
What they're doing on this specific one, though, is they're telling a story and they're saying, am I wrong for
Am
this?
I in the wrong?
They're asking everyone's opinion.
Guys, I ask
like,
myself this
who's
every day.
wrong?
Am I wrong?
You do. And I'm like, no, you're not wrong. What are you talking about? So we're going to read this with the lens of
Am I
Am
wrong?
I-
Are they in the wrong? And
In
we're
the
gonna
wrong?
say if they're in the wrong or
them
not.
or the other guy.
Okay.
So
I'm ready. Hit me.
here's the first one.
Oh, I'm so.
Here's the title of the post. Am I wrong for walking out of the airport when I saw my husband's mom standing there with her luggage?
Oh!
What?
I, female 30, don't have the best relation with my husband's mom. Since one day she tried to make remarks and compare me to her, question mark, period.
Ooh,
She
absolutely
then tried to get on my good side and started overly praising everything I do and sometimes even copying me. Like that one time when she literally dyed her hair purple, just like mine. And when everyone pointed out how ridiculous she looked, she actually blamed me and accused me of trying to make a joke out of her. So anyways, my husband and I took 2 weeks off work to go visit some places out of the country. Tourism, in other words.
This person has a flair for writing.
Thing is,
They do.
yeah, a lot of typos in here too. Thing is, I was the one who saved up and arranged for the trip.
Oh,
My
girl.
husband was responsible for booking the tickets. In
Oh,
parentheses.
no.
My husband's mom wanted to come along and threw temper tantrums when I said no. She called, texted, sent people to talk me into letting her come, even threatened to call the police and make some complaint up to get
Is
us
this
to stay.
real?
To get us to stay if she can't come.
Oh my gosh.
My husband said we should just take her, but I
No.
told him he was wrong to tell her about the trip in the first place.
Yeah.
He gave me an ultimatum, said he wouldn't go if she can't come, and I told him I'd gladly call his bluff, which made him take his words back and say, fine, I will tell her to stop it, because we won't take her. Okay. Things got quieter, suspiciously quieter.
No, not the suspicion.
The day of the trip came. We got to the airport at 2 p.m. My husband was walking ahead of me and was looking
2
left and
p.m.
right like he was looking for someone. I asked him, but he didn't respond. Okay, she's like, you looking for someone?
He's like,
He led me to the waiting area, and first thing I saw was his mom standing there with her luggage. I froze in my spot. I felt
Are
a
you
cold
kidding me?
wave washing over me.
I would.
That's interesting. I never felt a cold wave. It's usually a warm wave. I was fuming inside. She and my husband were hugging. That's when I quietly turned around and started walking towards the exit.
Good.
Yes, girl.
Wait. My husband followed me while shouting at me to stop. He tried to stop me, but I told him off in the harshest way possible. He tried to say I was
As you
overreacting and that his mom was there anyway. And I should just let it go and not mess the trip up for us. I told him he and his mom could still go and that I was going home. I went home and sobbed into my dog's fur for several minutes.
Oh my God. Don't cry into the dog. There's germs.
Turns out he booked her a ticket without me knowing. An hour later, he came home yelling and raging about how pathetic and spiteful I was to walk out and go home and ruin the trip last minute. I told him he caused this to happen.
Yeah.
He said that I was being so hard on his mom. It's ridiculous. I refused to fight anymore, but he kept on berating me and then called my family to tell them that the trip was canceled and that it was because of me. My family said that I shouldn't have ruined it for myself and should have sucked it up and
Your
done my best to enjoy. Did I overreact?
no. Gotta put your foot down.
You have to.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, if his mom was so like wild and being
Rude.
like copied her dyeing her hair and then was like, you did this to make a fool out of me or something, it's like it wasn't gonna be a good trip anyway.
Okay, she has a bad case of the grab hands.
Yes.
Her mother, so it's her mother-in-law, right?
Yes.
Her mother-in-law is crazy, has no respect for any boundaries whatsoever. So you just had to put down a hard one.
Yeah,
there.
that just
And her
sucks
husband
though.
doesn't either.
Because she saved up for the trip, did all the arrangements, and then didn't even get to go. And then he's
Yeah.
yelling at her, you ruined the trip.
I'm
They
scared
got
of her
some
husband.
deep issues.
I'm
He
really
literally
scared of my
lied to her.
husband.
He said, "Okay, I'll take care
And
of
then he
it."
comes home
Psych.
and
And
yells
then he got
at
mad
her.
at her for not being happy about it.
You can't surprise him at the airport. What do you think is going to...
Okay, you guys got some
Yeah.
real problems
You
in your
got some-
marriage.
Yeah,
you gotta,
I would say
you gotta talk about.
You got to work some
it
things
was
out.
probably necessary for you to, not that
Put down a
is
firm
watching,
boundary.
but it was necessary for her to leave
I
because he
agree.
clearly wasn't listening when she just said words. She had to take an action.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Not
You
respecting
listen
her
now.
And then her
I can't just do
family
that.
being not backing her, absolutely not.
I've seen
Yeah.
so much stuff like this in my like baby groups I'm in. They talk
We
about
should read
mother-in-law, and they're like,
We should.
like, I told my mother-in-law she couldn't come over this week. Because it's like they have a newborn baby. I told her she couldn't come over. I wanted to like rest, and she can come over in the weekend. And then it's like the mother-in-law came over anyway. And it's like I told my mother-in-law not to kiss my baby. She's a newborn baby. Don't kiss her on the face. Wait until she's older. She came over and kissed her anyway. I told them this. I told them that. Oh, I see a bunch where the
Absolutely
mother-in-law
not.
feeds them something, feeds the newborn like some mashed potatoes.
Ew.
And then
That's
it's like,
really
my
scary.
kid was throwing up, or my kid had all these stomach problems.
That's scary.
Because the mother-in-law didn't listen specifically when she said, oh, I can't. So like, I can't wait to like let her try this. She's like, no, you can't do that. And then they did it anyway.
Absolutely
Typical.
not.
So what's with all these mothers?
I got a great mother-in-law.
A
I'm
lot of
blessed.
these stories are mother-in-law.
They
things,
like have their son
unfortunately.
and they're like, oh, this is my son and I'm gonna not respect his wife. I don't know. It's kind of confusing.
It's a
Yeah,
lot.
no.
I can't hear.
So you're not in the
Wild.
wrong.
You're not in the wrong.
In
We've
our
declared
opinion.
it.
Yeah.
All right, here's the next one titled, Am I wrong for canceling Mother's Day celebration that I arranged for my wife after hearing what she told my son?
Wait,
Intrigued.
I'm gonna give her to Catherine while I put on the
Oh yeah, I was gonna say.
carrier. So continue.
Okay. All right. I, male 37, okay, have a 13-year-old son.
Cute.
I was a widower when I met my now wife.
Oh, okay.
She has a 16-year-old daughter from another relationship. The family is often on pretty good terms. My son is the quiet one in the house. He keeps to himself a lot, but not to the point of being concerning. Okay.
Interesting to add.
My wife and stepdaughter are the complete opposite, with no E on the end. They both encourage him to be outgoing and share activities and join gatherings with the extended family. My son complained about having to be forced out of his comfort zone and having his need for space invalidated. I spoke to both my wife and stepdaughter and asked them to give him space and freedom to spend his time however he wanted. They apologized and promised to let him be. Great. Love to see it. As Mother's Day was approaching, I wanted to throw my wife a surprise Mother's Day celebration. It was no longer a surprise because my stepdaughter gave her the heads up so she could prepare.
Oh my gosh.
Yesterday, I got off work earlier than usual to get final arrangements done. We planned to celebrate at the restaurant and invited her family there. I had the key to the house. I had the key, and while I was entering the house through the front door, I overheard my wife and stepdaughter talking to my son. My wife was asking my son if he could convince me to let him stay home and not go with them to the restaurant to celebrate.
Wait, my what?
My wife was
And her
trying to
daughter.
get the son to convince the dad to not go to the celebration. So
son
they're
not
like,
go?
yeah. So
She
they're
didn't
like,
want the son
can
there."
you try to convince your dad? Tell him you don't want to go to the celebration. Okay.
Did he not want to go?
Well, let's see.
So confused.
Okay. I paused and decided to keep listening. Classic. My son
Gotta.
said why, and she told him that his introverted and socially inept attitude will make her family uncomfortable and will ruin the mood.
That's
Oh my
so
God.
mean.
He promised her that he'd be well behaved and would try to interact and socialize with
I'm
everyone.
so crying.
Sad. That is so sad. I
Oh,
can't.
this makes you want to cry.
But
That's so
she
sad.
said she wasn't buying it.
Absolutely not.
He kept reassuring her, but she snapped and told him that technically she's not his mom, so she didn't get why he wanted to celebrate Mother's Day with her so badly.
His mom is also deceased, as it says. He said he's a
my
widower.
gosh,
Yeah.
This woman.
My
can't.
stepdaughter threw some, I don't remember, backhanded comment, and then both of them were shocked to see me standing there. Both were staring without saying anything. I told my son and his stepsister to go to their rooms, and I told my wife that the celebration was off, canceled. She tried to argue, asking why repeatedly, and I told her why. She tried to explain that she didn't mean it like that, and that was the only part of the conversation I heard, but not all of it. I told her I was done arguing and the decision was already made. She yelled, asking what she was going to tell her family, and said that I was making a tremendous mistake towards her. I ignored her while she kept throwing tantrum after tantrum. People love using that word. Early this morning, she took my stepdaughter and went to stay with her folks. Not a single call or text so far from her. Situation is full of tension. I'm upset still, but more hurt, to be honest. I mean, yes, I did say I was going to have this celebration, but I thought that what she said to my son was way too harsh to ignore.
It was completely unacceptable.
That
You
is so sad.
definitely should have canceled.
Poor baby.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
that
cry.
little
That
boy.
poor boy.
I'm confused about how they got. Yeah, I'm so confused. How did they get to this place where you're married, but your wife is rude to your son? How do you
Yeah.
even get to that
Yeah.
place?
Well, yeah, it's like, it sounds like the son hasn't really been around the stepmom's family much, and it's been a few years, and she's like, oh, your socially inept attitude will ruin the mood. But I'm like, if you guys are all so outgoing, he's probably just gonna go under the radar.
He's just gonna be a quiet
because you're
person
probably
and
blah blah
chilling.
blahing the whole time.
Yeah.
So
What?
And this is literally a Mother's Day
Like, I don't get it.
celebration. You know, it's part of Mother's Day is accepting your husband's son.
And that's probably a hard
You're a
day for
stepson.
him.
Yeah.
Because his mom is dead.
Right. That's your stepson
it's like,
who lost his mom. Like, have a little
That is
compassion,
horrible.
lady.
Absolutely
Yeah.
horrible.
The
It's
fact that
just
she
so
said this when
weird.
the husband wasn't there, it's like, what else did she say to your son when?
Yeah.
Like she's like it sounds like she's like the real life stepmother from Cinderella. Like
need
the
like a
evil
big-
stepmother. Yikes.
Need to have a big talk about how she's going to treat his son. Because I'm like, is she even ever going to change? Like, is this relationship even going to last? You have a big talk about that. I mean, if I were him, yeah, would I cancel it? I don't know if I'd cancel it. But
I would
I'd be
cancel.
like, we need to have a huge talk about this. If you talk to him, if you continue treating him like this, we're gonna have to be separated.
Yeah.
Well, if
that's
you're
unacceptable.
throwing a celebration for someone and they don't want your own child there, canceled, done.
Well, and
I would probably
not
keep-
just they don't want
I'd
them
probably
there,
still do
that
that.
they're having a conversation behind your back, trying to do this trick,
Unreal.
acting like, oh, the son just didn't want to come, when really you bullied
Yeah,
him.
you're right.
And made him feel
So
bad.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
it's
a
even
whole
weirder.
it's like
other layer.
manipulation.
And it's
Yeah.
like he really wanted
It
to
sounds
go.
insane.
Sounds
to
like
me.
she's very manipulative.
Yeah, the whole thing
Not
sounds
great.
insane. Like she shouldn't even be married to her, but that's not the question. But yeah,
I know all these ones. I'm like,
always comes
leave.
back to. Yeah.
Literally.
Why are you
Okay.
married to that person?
This one, interesting title. Am I wrong for telling my ex her depression is not an excuse for her neglecting her adult responsibilities and for calling her a terrible mother? My ex,
Oh, yikes.
32 female. So that's you, right? You 32?
that's me.
This I'm
right,
32
so
female.
Is a wreck.
strapping in.
She's a wreck of a human being. And
me.
unfortunately, I have 2 daughters with her and that I share 50-50 custody with. She has crippling anxiety and depression. While I know that they impact
we
her
can
daily
relate.
life, I believe she uses them as an excuse to be lazy as well. There are
What does
many
lazy
reasons
mean?
why I believe this. Well, he's going to tell us. But when we were together, oh, I guess he's not. But when we were together, I noticed that she would always allow her anxiety and depression to hold her back from doing things she did not want to do. Yet, when something she wanted to do came around, she never had any issues. Okay?
I'm curious.
Isn't
what
that normal?
He's talking about.
Whether or not her issues are as bad as she claims, co-parenting with her has been a nightmare. It's one thing if she wants to use her conditions as a crutch in her own life, okay, but she constantly uses them to ignore our kids. Both our daughters have expressed to me that they can never talk with their mom about anything serious. If they want to do anything that mom does not want to do, depression and anxiety suddenly boil to the surface right before they do it. However, when mom wants to do anything, it's never been an issue. Yesterday, I got a call from my daughters. Their mom was supposed to pick them up from after school clubs, but had not shown up for nearly an hour. It's a 14-mile journey to their mom's house from their school, and the school buses no longer run when the club gets out. Their mom is supposed to pick them up, and she had not been picking up her calls and ignored every text.
Oh my gosh.
I had to leave work early and took them to my house where they stayed until my ex finally answered our call at 7 p.m.
What?
She claimed she was having an incredibly rough day, had not slept the night before, and only got to sleep at noon. The excuse of depression and anxiety came up again, and she said she knew I would pick them up, so she put her phone on mute and went to bed. I lost it. I told her that her disabilities, do not excuse her for being a terrible mother and a lazy piece of crap. I
wow.
won't get into what I fully said to her after that here. But she was crying by the time I finished. I could see that. I told her that I would also be taking her back to court to contest custody because I will not be allowing something like this to happen again. My daughters are still with me right now. And when I asked my ex if she wanted them back for the rest of the week, she simply did not respond. I already sent over the documents to my lawyer. But when I told my mom the full story, she got incredibly mad at me. She claims I was way out of line and that the entire situation
His
was
mom
made.
got mad at her? Not her mom. His mom.
I'm mad at him.
At him, I
Mom got
mean.
mad at him.
For
Hang on. She claims I was way out of line and I made the entire situation 100 times worse. I also got an incredibly hostile text from my ex's sister telling me that my ex completely broke down and has not been able to function since yesterday. Now I'm wondering if I truly went overboard.
No, you did not.
This is a good question.
It's
of
very
like,
I feel like he's
nuanced.
kind of rude though.
Well,
Does he
okay.
have to be rude?
I think this is a very
But when it's how old are the kids?
probably really young. If she's 32, and
I don't think
No,
he
they
said.
could be older.
They're after school clubs.
They're probably like elementary to middle.
Okay, they can't drive.
Yeah.
What does she want them to do? Walk 14 miles?
I would think
Yeah, when it's
elementary
your
and middle.
kids, okay, if she's treating kids like that, and I think of like my kids and ever doing that, like no.
Well, it sounds.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, even if you're in like the worst depression of your life, would you just leave your kids at school? Like, oh, he'll pick them up, but I'm
Can't
not
you
going to
just
tell him
call
that.
the dad and be like, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it. Can you pick them up?
Well,
Yeah.
see, that's the thing that's getting
And she just
to
didn't
me.
say, put her phone on mute, didn't say anything till 7 p.m.
That's just not
not
really.
right.
That's not really safe. Like as a parent, you need to be able to fulfill your parental responsibility.
Yeah.
It sounds like she can't.
It sounds also the way that he's stating it that she's kind of weaponizing these things.
Yes.
Of like her kids don't feel like they can talk to her or do these things, and it only is coming up when it's things that she doesn't want to do. Is what it's
Yeah, I mean, but that's
sounding
all
like.
from his perspective.
Yeah,
it's hard to
it's
But
know.
it's from the
No.
kid's perspective too, though.
Well, he says that, but like,
according to him,
did he plant that idea, or did they really say?
I don't
Maybe
know, Kat.
they did.
The kind of person that
Okay,
says
but
I can't
the
pick
not
them up,
picking
saying
them
I'm
up-
going to put
No,
my
I
phone
agree
on
that
you
that's
would
wrong,
probably do
But
that.
I'm just saying we don't know this lady personally. She could have some very serious issues.
Well, Kat,
and
she obviously
does
does.
have some very
and
serious
there's
issues.
nothing
I
wrong
think-
with having serious issues.
And if the case is that she does have these serious issues, then he probably should take custody.
Yeah.
If she's going to do that,
If
leave
she
them there.
can't pick
They
up
could
her
have gotten
children-
kidnapped. Like, you can't just leave them
I'm
there.
not
like,
saying that she should have.
no, I
said
know,
that
but it's just
wrong.
like, I think he
I'm
should
just
take the
saying we
custody, but he
shouldn't-
doesn't have to call
Yeah.
her.
I think
lazy
he's a little
piece of crap.
rude.
I think that he was. Yeah, you don't need to name call. That's still your
Yeah.
children's mother. You need to treat her with respect.
But it sounds like
But
it's
at
been
the
a
same
problem for
time,
a
you should
while,
not.
though.
These children should be safe, and I think that kind of shows a level of like.
And this is probably not
being
the first
safe.
thing that she's done like that, I'm assuming.
The weird thing is the way that he like phrases things, like she let her depression, anxiety do this, that, and the other thing is very strange.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
it's kind of confusing. But then at the same time, she is not functioning properly. And
Yeah.
as a mom who went through severe postpartum depression, anxiety with a child, I took it into my own hands to get help and to ask for help from other people when I needed it. So she should
Yeah.
be, I mean, it's like she should be getting help for her mental health and then also asking for people to give rides and things like that when she
Yeah.
needs it, but she's not, is the problem.
Yeah, if you can't depend on the parent to pick them up from school or make sure they're picked up, they could any number of horrible situations could happen.
Yeah.
You can't
so-
that's
I'd
not
say
reliable.
half and half. Maybe don't be rude.
I think he needs to work on the way that he treats
But
people.
I think, like, yeah, trying to take full custody, I think that's
Well, but I think
Maybe what you need
he
to
was more
do.
saying, "Am I wrong for the way I?"
well, the whole
talked to her?"
thing.
no,
I think
they
the whole
think that he
reaction.
blew it out of proportion, but I don't think he did.
Oh yeah,
'Cause he mentioned
no, that's a
both.
big
No, I
deal.
think he had a right to be very upset. He just didn't need to say it in that way. Like,
Yeah.
I think you could still say, like, how could you do this? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think you're like a safe place for the kids. I'm gonna
Yeah.
call my lawyer. But like saying like you piece of beep, like that's just kind of
That is a little too far. We don't need to
yeah.
insult people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Yeah,
It's
she
really
clearly
sad.
has issues that she needs to work through, and those are difficult issues.
Yeah, that's really
Okay,
sad.
this one is a 2-part.
Oh,
Okay, it has an
okay.
update.
Okay,
So-
I love an update.
This one will be a little long. All right.
Okay, let's hear it.
So, it sounds like, okay, whatever. Am I in the
Okay.
wrong for imposing my culture, even though I thought I was just being nice? Okay. So, even though I, 23 female, am American, my parents are immigrants, and therefore I have a different cultural upbringing than most. One thing that was hammered into my head from a young age was to always bring a small gift when visiting anyone's house.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if it's family or friends or that one person you kind of know but don't really like. Bringing something is a must. My BF, 28 male, and I have been, okay, so he's 28, she's 23. My BF and I have been dating almost 4 years now, and since we both work from home, he suggested we make dinner with his parents a weekly thing, since we
Cute.
haven't been able to see each other much for obvious reasons.
I don't know what the obvious
I don't know what
reasons
that
are.
means. I love his parents, so obviously I
Was it
agreed.
2020 or something?
Oh,
21?
maybe. Oh, maybe. I don't know. Every week, I made sure to bring something small to show my appreciation for them cooking for us. Always using my own money. A small bottle of wine, their favorite dessert, some flowers, etc.
That's cute.
And they always thanked me for it. This has been going on for a few months, and I absolutely didn't notice anything out of the ordinary until yesterday when my boyfriend and I were preparing to head over. I'd gotten a cute vase of daffodils since luckily I found some in bloom, and my boyfriend's
cute.
mom really loves them. My boyfriend suddenly got really mad and asked why I kept bringing stuff over every week, like his parents were a charity case. Honestly, I got super confused and asked him what the problem was, and that I've always done this with everyone, including his friends, since we met. This was a cultural thing, but then he got even madder and told me stop imposing my culture on everyone, and it's weird since I'm white. Okay? At that point, I didn't feel like going anywhere with him. Understandable.
Yeah.
And just gave him the flowers and went for a walk while he drove over to dinner by himself. After he came home, he still had the flowers, which he gave to me and told me he was sorry. Okay, but his parents
gave the flowers back to
his
her?
parents really were super annoyed with me constantly bringing stuff over like they can't take care of themselves. And later on, I got a text from his dad asking me not to come over for dinner anymore. Now my boyfriend's giving me the cold shoulder unless I give his parents a huge apology. But I really, truly don't
what?
feel like I'm in the wrong for trying to be nice to them.
You're not.
Am I wrong?
Oh my god.
I'm so scared.
This is like a twisted web of lies.
So first off, is she wrong?
No.
This is like a whole family like conspiring against you to make you feel crazy. Basically, is what it seems like.
Yeah, first of all,
Yeah, nothing
what?
wrong with that. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't really call that imposing a culture.
She's not like, hey, can I pay your electric bill this month? And she keeps
yeah,
paying.
like
She won't
your
stop paying
charity
their bills.
case. Here's a base
Here,
of
you look
flowers.
like you could really use the money.
Here's a thing of
If they're
wine.
like, my son's girlfriend won't stop paying my bills. Okay, that's different. But why would you complain?
Why would you complain about
yeah,
that?
like what is wrong with these people?
No.
Well, and like
She's right.
it's
right?
small things.
She's right. They're rude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Alright,
agree.
So then,
I'm scared.
Oh, update.
What's
okay,
the update?
so then-
Oh my gosh,
update.
I'm nervous.
After my last update, I guess there was another update. I don't know, but this is another update.
Many updates.
I told my boyfriend I was sick and tired of him dancing around the issue with his parents, and I was going to go over their house whether he liked it or not. At this point, I think
why?
he realized.
I don't know about that.
I think there was some issue of her being like, let's talk about it, and they wouldn't talk about it. She's like, we need to just solve this. I don't have a problem with your parents. Okay?
Okay.
She's like, I'm going over there whether you like it or not. Sounds like he was like, let's just not deal with it. At this point, I think he realized that whatever he was doing backfired. So he sat down all angry and told me he'd explain. I sat and he told me that he'd done something very spur of the moment and that he'd texted me from his dad's phone and then blocked the number, but begged me to listen. That he just needed to get his parents off me for a while and to not leave. Apparently,
Wait, what?
hang on.
Wait, what the heck?
Apparently, his parents had started hinting at him about marriage since my boyfriend and I talked a lot about it. I fully expected to marry him, as I said in another comment.
Do not
and was
marry him.
honestly
I'm
expecting
sorry.
a proposal in late spring since that's when we met. 4 years dating didn't bother me, but I was getting excited to settle down. However, my boyfriend apparently realized that he absolutely didn't want to commit to anything and wanted to experiment and have fun since, quote, I wasn't being fun anymore. She sounds pretty fun, gives people gifts. I don't know.
She
that's
sounds
nice.
like a great girl.
Honestly, that just made me cry. Since
Yeah, it would.
we were each other's first for everything and usually very good at communicating our needs.
Were you?
His grand plan was to get him mad at me so I would beg for forgiveness and then he'd only accept an open relationship as an answer. Absolutely brilliant plan, I know. He made his
This can't be
he
real.
made up his parents getting mad,
This
but
cannot
didn't
be real.
expect me to blow off dinner completely. And it's like hitting the jackpot. His words, not mine. Okay. He went over for dinner, hid the flowers, and said we gotten into a huge fight, but he was going to fix it and that I needed space. After he confessed all of this, he said he was very
I'm in
sorry.
shock.
But
I'm
he
in
really
shock.
didn't want to miss out on new experiences when he was still young. He's 28.
Young? You're 28.
Like, okay.
He's like, I'm 28.
I need new
don't want to miss
experiences.
And
Ain't
would
no
I
spring
consider
chicken.
an open relationship? Okay.
You are young.
But pretend ours
didn't
was
mean to.
strained with his parents so they wouldn't get suspicious. And I laughed. I laughed his butt right out the
You
door.
tell him.
And I
Thank
told him,
you.
absolutely not. And to leave me alone while I packed because I wanted to have some new experiences too.
You tell him.
Get some new
He never stopped
experiences.
begging me to stay, but I left to sleep at a friend's. After calming down for a few days, I cemented the breakup and finally actually went over to his parents. My ex-boyfriend's dad never even noticed that his phone was missing, but still apologized, and his mom was a mess. I did and still love them, and will eat dinner there without him as often as I can. I won't lie that I'm sad about 4 years down the drain, but that's life. And if that was my ex's best possible plan, then I dodged the bullet by a mile.
Yeah, you did. That was the
Is this real or is this made up?
I never
don't know.
expected him to have faked that.
I feel like
text
that's
sounds
out.
like a fake story.
But it didn't make sense that his dad would text her.
Yeah, because he texted her from his dad's
Yeah.
phone.
Well,
So I'm
because
saying
he's
that-
trying to be like, oh, different culture. You don't know about this because you're a different culture, but like it's offensive.
He's crazy.
Guys, I'm in shock.
scared.
I have
He's
no
bat
words.
rip crazy.
But it's like whether or not that's real, though, would someone do that? Yeah, I think someone would.
yeah, I think someone
I
would
could
do
see that
Well,
happening.
if you are desperate to get out of marriage,
People, you know what they're desperate to do is not say
the thing that
something.
they need to say.
They would like this is real
desperate
though.
to
Where
not say
people,
something.
well, men, this is really dark, but would rather like kill their person than break up with them. Like people are so desperate to not like say a
my
hurtful
gosh,
thing or
you're
have a hard
right.
conversation.
That
they
is
will do
so
these
true.
crazy things.
There have
So-
been many, many murders where the man
They just
would
didn't wanna
rather
get
kill
divorced.
than
it's so
just say
scary.
we need to get a divorce. You're right.
Yes.
Guys, that is such a problem.
Yeah, I don't understand
in
why all these people don't
society.
just break up.
Just speak.
Just
Yeah,
break up.
I don't
You want to
know.
be single? Just break up.
Because
Don't
they're
cheat.
like, oh, I don't want to lose this or that. Or I don't want this.
He wants.
no, guess what? This person's not a financial investment. It's a person.
Yeah,
People
I
just
can't.
want
We're gonna lose them. Sorry.
People want to avoid
confrontation.
confrontation, high emotional situations at all
So-
costs. So no one wants to have any conversations
what?
around
That's
here.
insane.
That is a great red/green flag to look out for. Okay, can have hard conversations when you're dating.
Yeah.
Gotta look out for that because that can be a detriment to your safety.
A real
they cannot.
problem.
All right. Am I wrong for telling my sister that her engagement ring was cheap?
Oh, what?
I want to say yes. But we'll
I
see.
have a wife. Okay. I have a
Maybe
wife,
not.
Katie. I have a younger sister, Lydia, who got engaged.
I'm sorry. Are you in Pride and Prejudice?
who got
I think
engaged?
those are the Bennett sisters.
Who got engaged to her fiance Seth around a month ago. Sister's Lydia. She's with Seth. Seth's family is pretty well off. His parents both work in the business sector and can afford a very lavish lifestyle. Although Seth has a decent job, his parents send him money regularly. He proposed to Lydia with a ring that they both constantly brag about, bragging about how expensive it is. Seth claims the ring was worth about $50K. Katie is a jeweler. So Katie is this person's wife. Katie is a jeweler, and she has been one for a long time. So Lydia asked if she could clean and polish the ring as a favor. Katie agreed. She told me later. She told me later in private that the ring is made of cheap materials and is worth no more than $30.
Wait, what?
That's like maybe they meant 300. I don't know, but I'm like,
Zirconia?
but I don't know.
Wait, what?
I mean, you can get a ring at like Walmart, $30 that looks
No, that's
No,
true.
nice.
I got a
Yeah.
fake wedding ring for when my fingers were swollen in pregnancy, and it was like $30 at Etsy,
I'm
and it
just
looked like
shocked.
my
It
real
looks
one.
great,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was
Shocked about what happened.
Yeah. After a long conversation, we decided it'd be best if we told Lydia. I
Yeah,
talked
you
to
gotta
Lydia
know.
in private and explained to her as gently as possible that Katie had a good look at the ring and that it's definitely not worth the amount of money that Seth said it was. Lydia was shocked. She said Seth must have been scammed by whoever he bought the ring off of. Okay. Lydia later talked to Seth. I wasn't there for the conversation, but apparently Seth knew the ring was cheap and was hoping Lydia wouldn't find out. Lydia ended up calling off the engagement and is currently staying with a friend and not talking to Seth. My parents are furious with me and Katie and are accusing us of sabotaging my sister's relationship and said we should have minded our own business.
What?
They said there's unfair pressure on men to spend a lot of money on rings and that we were being selfish.
Oh my
A lot of our
Excuse
extended
me?
family also think we're the villains, so I'm
Oh
wondering if what we
gosh, I
did was the
can't.
right thing.
It was
Yes.
100% the right thing.
Tell the truth.
Because the thing is, like, if that's gonna ruin their relationship,
They
you
got a
didn't
real
ruin
problem.
it.
But
He
also,
did.
if you're
Like,
trying to marry someone,
People are so weird. I hate this.
if you're trying to marry someone who's passing off a $30 ring as $50,000,
Yeah, that's a little-
that's like a big red
okay,
flag.
yeah.
I will say.
Okay, I know we're moving on, but last thing I have to say, I hate how there's all these family situations where something happens and then everyone blames the people who literally did not do something wrong, but everyone turns them as like, you just shouldn't have said anything and
they're
not rock the
you
boat.
caused conflict.
Yeah.
So it's your fault.
hate that.
I also love
they
how
did it wrong.
I can't hear.
They like. I
hate
love how
it.
people just completely ignore the main thing. The main thing is that he lied.
Yeah.
Lying
It's not
is
about
bad.
the ring.
And the parents are like, oh, like way up here.
You shouldn't have told them.
People just expect men to spend way too much. That is
That has
not the
nothing to
point.
do with
the point
it.
is that he lied. That is
And
bad.
yeah,
What?
he's going around
I
town
hate it
bragging
so
about
much.
it. Like what?
That's not a good sign. People
Hate
should-
it.
Love
Wait,
is
bragging
truthful.
about.
Basically, you should always tell the truth. Few exceptions. You should
Yeah, and
basically
if
always tell the truth.
she felt it in her soul to call it off because it wasn't right, that is a win for her.
She
A
gets to
win
do
for
that,
her.
okay?
Yeah, and you didn't
helped her dodge a bullet.
sabotage
But you know
anything.
what? They were probably upset that they ruined the relationship because the guy's family was rich and he had a good job.
Yeah,
That's
guess
probably
what?
why they
Your
were
Maybe
parents
not.
just care
Well,
about
how-
wealth.
Maybe
they
it's
don't care
apparently
about
not,
your,
though,
your
yeah.
well-being.
How wealthy, no offense, this might be harsh, can you be if you're spending $30 on a ring and pretending $50,000?
I know something
Well,
shady.
you could do that.
I think something
just
shady
for
may be
fun.
happening.
Or he could just be extremely cheap.
Yeah.
Oh, like
Some
extreme
people who are
cheapskates?
very wealthy are very
Yes,
cheap.
wait,
I've known
that's the
some of
thing.
them.
Yeah.
I
could
get
see
that.
That's the thing.
That's
All right,
sketchy.
so guys, let's move on to Sister Spotlight, where a different sister gets the spotlight every week. We have Get Real with Christina, Sassy Thoughts with Kath, Lisa's Corner, coming again soon. Coming back
again
soon,
soon.
whatever that thing is to theaters near you. Amy's Current Crisis and Lauren's Take. This week, the sister is
Kathy
Sassy or
Lee.
Sappy?
I would say it's more uplifting.
Uplifting thoughts with
Uplifting
Kath.
thoughts. Okay.
Uplifting.
So I wanted to share with you guys my favorite thought. This is not going to be super long. It's just my favorite thought
My favorite
recently
thought.
that has helped me like make some good changes in my life.
All
Love
right.
to see it.
Let's
So
hear it.
this all started in June. I was reading this book called Atomic Habits.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really good. I didn't actually finish it, but I read a good amount. I actually listened to it on audiobook. But anyway, because who has time to sit and read? Not me. I love reading. I just mainly do audiobooks. But
I
anyway,
love reading.
I do. I just
She
finished
said
a
in a
book.
panicked tone.
I'll read like a couple pages at night, but I can't really read much. I usually just listen. So anyway, listening to this book. And he said something that really struck me, and I feel like it's impacted my life a lot since I heard it. He said, paraphrasing, it's so much more important the trajectory that your life is going and where you'll be a year from now than the state that your life is in right now. So this can go multiple ways. One way it can go would be like, you could be in a really good place right now, but if you're like just kind of declining mentally and like all these like bad habits are coming to the surface, like it doesn't matter that you're doing well right now because a year from now you could lose everything. But the way that I like to think of it as it's not about like, okay, I feel like for me, like I've been on my health journey this year, healing mentally, physically in a lot of ways.
I'm
from
on one too
disordered
now.
eating, you know, it's a journey.
Ooh,
And
love a health journey.
one of the biggest things I realized is like, it's not about these big all or nothing changes that we all want. Like, oh, well, I really want to be healthy, but right now I'm so unhealthy and I'm never going to be there. So I'm just not going to try. It's like, I have to tell myself it's where I'm going to be in a year. And it's so much more. So that changes everything for me. Like I used to make these big plans, like I'm do all this workout stuff, make this big workout goal or make this big like cleanse goal or fasting goal. Like it was always like these big things. And I did it for like a week or two and then that was it. And then I would just give up and go back to how I was before. Whereas now I'm like, what are like the smallest little changes I can make that I can sustain over a lifetime? And one of them, actually Lauren mentioned in one of her highs and lows is daily walks. And I've been doing these
so
little
great.
daily walks and there's been
I love your daily walk.
yeah, I love it. It's the best way to start the day. And I realized like before I'd be like, oh, well, I need to be working out, you know, or going on this long of a walk because I'm not getting the benefits, but it's not this certain amount of time. But I've realized a few times that it's not about me doing an hour walk, you know, a 30-minute, whatever, a certain goal. It's about me creating a lifelong habit.
Of just
Ooh,
walking.
love it.
And there was one day where I was like, oh, the day's almost over and I haven't had my walk. So it was such a busy day. And I was like, you know what? I have literally 10 minutes. I'm just going to do a 10-minute walk.
Ooh.
And I went on a 10-minute
Love
walk
it.
and
I
it
love
was
it.
beautiful.
Love
It
it.
was 73 degrees.
Also, Kath, if
The
you
birds
add
were
in
singing.
pushing the boys,
Right.
that
Oh,
does
yeah. I
add
was
more.
pushing the boys
Something.
too. But still, it's like, I remember thinking, I'm so proud of myself that I chose to do this, even though I was like, oh, but it doesn't even count. It's just 10 minutes. It's
Love
like,
to see
It
it.
counts to your mind.
it's about the habit
mental
and
health.
the discipline and the
Counts to your soul.
like the repetition.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I've been focusing on lately, and it feels really good. So that's my
I love
encouragement
that.
to you is it's not about where you are right now. It's about where you're going to be a year from now based
Where
on
you're going.
how you're acting right now in your life.
Oh, I love that.
it.
That's a great wow, Kath.
So
Wow.
that's my thought for you.
Hopeful thoughts with Kath.
Yeah. Thank you.
Uplifting.
I can't take the credit for that one. It's from James something. Can't remember his last name.
Uplifted.
Uplifting
Yeah.
Love it.
and hopeful thoughts.
Thank you, patrons. You guys are the best.
We love you.
We appreciate you.
Love you. You're the best. Thank you for supporting us. It means so much to us. And it means that we get to keep doing the podcast, which we love to do. So thank you guys so much. We'll see you in the next episode. Leave your comments. Can't wait to read them. See ya.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Cimarelli podcast. Follow Cimarelli on Spotify and subscribe on YouTube. You can also find Cimarelli on Facebook and Instagram.